Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight, we're going to go back to the great state of Indiana. We're going to interview Mr. Caleb Carnes. Caleb got a top 10 finish last year at the BFL Hoosier Division tournament on the Rough River Lake. So we're very, very excited to talk to Caleb. He's going to give us a little rundown of how his tournament went last year, how he was able to capture that top 10, what he predicts for this year. Really great information coming your way. You're not going to want to miss this if you're an angler fishing the BFL Hoosier Division event coming up on the Rough River Lake in a few weeks. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway sweepstakes. To enter that giveaway, all you have to do is you'll see this banner rotating throughout the video underneath this video. Click the link at the top of the description right below this video. It just takes 2 or 3 seconds to fill out your information. That will get you in for that sweepstakes giveaway. Again, that winner will be selected at the end of the season. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And then if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Great for all the different ailments that we endure in the field or on the water. So if you have back trouble, aches and sorenesses throughout your body, joint problems, trouble sleeping at night, anxiety, even if you have a dog in the family who's suffering from some hip problems, or anxiety with fireworks or is gun shy, that's what our products are meant for. So please check them out. They're THC free, made right here in America. We're a worker friendly brand. You're never going to fail a drug test. You can purchase them directly off our website at www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and bring Caleb right into the studio. Let's talk about Rough River Lake. How you doing this evening, Caleb?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great. Appreciate you taking time out of your evening to come on our podcast. So, man, let's get right into it. Top 10 finish last year, Hoosier Division. Tell us a little bit about the tournament and what you were able to kind of put together.
Yeah, so I'm probably more local to this lake than most of the guys in the Hoosier Division. Pretty much cut my teeth on this lake. It's where I got my first tournament win. Got a lot of history with it. So last year was a lot different than this year is going to be just because of the water level. We were a little earlier last year. So the fish were, straight up pre-spawn. There was a few fish on beds, but not a lot. And I just ran the pattern that I always run that time of year, flipping a jig, round chunk rock. Pretty much in the south. We call it South Fork. There's a North Fork and South Fork of the lake. And I caught all my fish up south last year. I actually had the fish on to win the tournament and blow it away, but you know how that goes. Sometimes you don't get them in a boat. So I was actually pretty happy to come out with a top 10 with it because, I didn't fish clean at all. But
okay, cool. Well, good for you. Flipping a jig in the rock, it's the worst technique in the world. It will not get into anybody's bones or in their blood. It's not addicting at all. No.
Not at
that
all.
being said, flipping a jig is probably one of the not only most dominant techniques throughout the country, from California to Florida. It catches them. We catch them down here in Florida flipping a jig. Everyone's heard about the Medlock 1 ounce jig. Flipping a jig throughout the country. I know guys that have cut their teeth and make a living flipping a jig.
Oh yeah, it's meat and potatoes fishing pretty much, and one of the funnest ways to catch them for myself, especially when you get that shallow flip and bite, and that's what rough is known for. This time of year, man, you get on them chunky rock banks, and all you need is a 1/2 ounce jig. But this year is going to be much, much different. We're going to be dealing with high water. Got a lot of rain. I think it's 10.5 feet above summer pool right now. So it's going to change a lot of things. Fish are going to spread out. Pretty much takes all of my local knowledge out of play. So I'm just going to have to go into it with, a fresh set of eyes, and cover water is going to be the name of the game for this tournament.
Absolutely. Will the jig still be on the deck, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't leave home without it. It stays there year-round. I actually just got back from Del Hollow and caught some good fish on a jig. When I need a bite, that's my confidence bait. I pick up the jig.
Okay, I got to ask, are you a guy that fishes one out of the package, and we will not name the brand, we'll keep that to your secrets, or do you tie your own?
I tie my own.
That a boy.
I do. I've been doing it for, 5 or 6 years now, and I've got a couple colors that I've got confidence in, and like I said, one or the other is always tied on, and it's always ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I have to ask because I'm a jig fisherman too. Are you a chunk guy or are you a crawl trailer guy?
Depending on the time of the year, but 90% of the time I throw a crawl.
Okay.
I'm not a chunk guy. There is times in cold water where I'll throw a chunk, but most of the time I've got a crawl.
Absolutely. Okay. Cool deal. So that being said, how many keepers did you catch last year?
Well, to be honest with you, I boated, I think 6 keepers. I culled once, um, and then I lost 3 pretty solid fish, one really big one.
Mm-hmm.
Managed to get one big bite in. It's like a 410 or something like that, and that's pretty much that's how you win on this lake. This lake is full of those 15 to 16-inch keepers, and 10 pounds is pretty attainable. It's whoever figures out how to get that 4+ pound bite is the guy that's going to win 99% of the tournaments on this lake.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Well, in terms of this year, you said you're dealing with a little higher water. That probably means there's a little bit more color in the water. What do you think? You know, when someone tells me that pre-spawn mode, kind of into that spawn period, I'm thinking, you know, up shallow reaction baits like a chatterbait or spinnerbait. Maybe flipping some brush if you can find the right brush that's related to the spawning areas. Is
Right.
there some other something that you like? Maybe you like to go deep, or what do you like to do?
You know, these fish, anywhere I go, fish that I'm not, really familiar with, I always pray for high water because it puts the fish in predictable places. It fits my style a little better. But on this lake, I dread when the water's high because these fish they don't really act like most fish. It's a really strange lake. And the water level fluctuates so much. Like they may start sucking the bottom out of it and dropping it a foot a day, and that
Right.
really puts the fish kind of in a weird mood. So that's really going to be this whole tournament depends on what they're doing with the water level. If they're pulling it, I don't think the fish are going to be up there spawning just because they can't get stable water right now.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, these fish will kind of hold off because they're so used to it going up and down, up and down. There will be fish on beds, but for the most part, especially, I think they're supposed to turn the dam on tomorrow. So if they do that and they really start pulling it, I don't think it's going to be a spawning tournament. They're going to wait for the water to stabilize. So with that being said, if the water stays stable, they don't pull it for some reason, or we get more rain, they have to shut the dam off. It's going to be a shallow water tournament with fish on beds. It's going to be a flipping tournament, power fit, spinner baits, chatter baits, fish in flooded bushes. But if they start pulling the water and those fish kind of back off and get in that weird mood, I that's when your deeper game is going to come into play,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be more consistent than that shallow tournament.
Okay.
So I mean, it really just depends on what they decide to do at the dam. If they're going to pull it hard, it completely changes my whole game plan, and probably everybody else's game plan too.
Right. Right. Do you think an angler's going to have to cover a lot of water to be successful,
I,
or
I
maybe they can
do.
find that right area?
I mean, you've got areas of the lake that are better. The lake's full of fish, so
Mm-hmm.
you can catch fish from one end of it to the other. Um, but they get so spread out when this water gets up this high. I mean, there's no telling how many more acres of water there is to fish now versus when it's just that regular pool. Um, and they'll get back in the woods, man, and they just get so spread out. So I think it's going to be a cover and water deal. If the water level stays high, which they're not going to get it all the way down the pool, so it will be high. So to me, I think it's going to be the guy who puts his head down, makes as many casts as possible, and happens upon one of those 4+ pound bites.
Okay, I got you. What about in terms of a co-angler? What would you do going into this tournament? A lot of factors against the co-anglers right now.
It is, and
Um,
this water being high once again, it kind of makes it a little harder on the cows because in order for the boater to navigate through all the bushes and stuff, it's going to have the cows out of position a lot. But if I were a co, on this lake, knowing this lake as well as I do, I would Texas rig, a light Texas rig, creature bait, or a Cinco, and I keep it in my hand all day because you're gonna, if you do that, you're gonna get those keeper bites.
Absolutely. What do you think it's going to take to win? What do you think it's going to take to cash a check on the boater side?
Man, I was really looking forward to this tournament when I seen that, because last year was a little early for when this lake shows out. And if the water had stayed level, it was going to be a smash fest. I truly believe that. But with the water being high, I think weights will probably be pretty similar to last year. If you get in the double digits as a boater, if you get that 10 plus pounds, I think you're going to have a solid shot at a top 10. 13, you've got a good shot at winning. And check range is going to be about, there will be a lot of limits weighed in, but they're going to be that 7 to 9 pound range.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the closer you get, above 8 pounds, you're probably looking at a check.
Yeah, so that tells me you're going to have a limit, and somewhere along the lines, you're going to have to catch a couple over the 2.5 mark, or catch that 3.5, 4 pounder.
Right.
That's going to be the deciding factor. So it sounds like
it sure is. It's a numbers game, and that's why covering water is such a good deal, because you're going to get those keeper bites. You just got to get it in front of one of the big ones.
Right. So, well, Caleb, really appreciate you coming on to our podcast, giving a lot of information as a local to the Rough River Lake. Before we let you go, I know, looking at your Facebook before I contact you, I know you got a lot of great family, friends, even a few sponsors in that area of Indiana where you live that give you a lot of great support. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just everyone around me. My parents are super supportive. I'm engaged to be married. My fiance, she takes care of the kids while I fish. Super supportive. And of course, the companies that I work with, Denali Rods, I've been with them since I started. 7 or 8 years ago. So I just got on with PH Custom Lures this year, and everybody around this area knows Phil Hunt and the type of baits that he makes. So super excited for that. Straight Up Mounts, TH Marine, just so many good companies that I work with that help me out. They're always there to answer questions when I need them. So I really, really, really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. And, I want to give a big shout out to all the local companies that help the local anglers out there. Revital Outdoors, when we came on as a brand new company, we were very, very proud to sponsor the BFL tournament series within Major League Fishing. We want to give back to the grassroots anglers. From big to small, it's really important for all these companies out there to get involved with the grassroots anglers. That's just really your breeding ground for success. That's where a lot of guys, a word-of-mouth marketing works tremendously well. So thank you to all those companies out there that support the local anglers and give back to the tournament organizations a little bit. They truly, it means a lot. From even down from the 20% discount to a little bit of free product, it goes a long ways without, sometimes being unheard of. So really appreciate you giving that shout out, Caleb. So Caleb, really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Good luck to you this year in the BFL tournaments. Good luck to all the anglers fishing the Hoosier Division tournament series this year. Really wishing you guys the best of luck. Before we let everybody go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and then make sure you see the scrolling banner below this video. Hit that link at the top of the description right below this video. Enter that $2,500 giveaway. Again, Revital Outdoors will be selecting that lucky angler at the end of the year, and they will win that $2,500 giveaway sweepstakes. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury once again. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there. God bless. And we'll talk to everyone very, very soon.